Hello, my friends. Olivier here. A little mind of Olivier for you. You know, this country, we have a big drug problem. We are the number one consumer of pharmaceuticals, legal and illicit drugs, and we've been that way for a long time. Uh, and there's been a war on drugs for a long time. But it actually started in the early 1900s with cocaine. Cocaine was in our Coca-Cola products, uh, used in snuff boxes by our great grandmothers and grandfathers, carrying around a little snuff box in their pocketbook or in their pocket, and a little shot of cocaine never hurt anybody back then. But then the 50s and 60s came along, and in the 50s, um, Americans consumer found LSD, crystal tea, uh, acid, microdot, whatever. But we found that, and we really enjoyed that recreational high as Americans. Um, and then in the 60s, marijuana became prevalent, and they started shipping marijuana by the millions of tons into America because we were the consumer. Uh, the average person in America that uses drugs, whether legal or illegal, uh, is probably around $50,000 a person over the last 40 years. Now, doing some algebra and some figuring, um, with about 90 million people participating in the use of drugs, we just like to get feel good. We like to, Americans love to feel good, and drugs help us get there. Uh, from the banker to the accountant to the lawyer to the judge, to everybody. I mean, it's prevalent in all walks of life. But America, over the last 40 years, doing the algebra I did, um, we have spent somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 quadrillion dollars. No, that's quadrillion. Look it up. Uh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of change. And the rest of the world wants a piece of that consumer product. So that's why it comes into America, because we consume it. We are the consumer. We are the biggest consumer of legal and illegal drugs in the world. That's a lot of change. And everybody wants a piece of it. So they've tried to cut back and do campaigns, say no to drugs, it's your brain on drugs, and stop the consumer for using these drugs. But that hasn't worked, and it's not going to work. Your President Trump, understands that, and he's not going to fight the consumer because you can't. Power of the dollar. So he's going for the head of the snake like he did in Iran. Bomb, Iran. He's going for the head of the snake, and he's going to be hitting the cartels and the countries that provide these drugs to America. And he's going to hit them hard. Just pay attention because it's coming. It's already happening in South America right now. Big crackdown. They're going to stop the import. The border is a big crackdown on bringing in drugs, and Trump knows that. So that's one of the reasons he seized the border and made nothing come in. But you, the consumer, is the reason we have drug problem. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I like to feel good. You know, I spend my $50 a month on my feel good medication, and that's just the illegal ones. That's not counting the legal ones. God Almighty, I got a lot of those. But just know, the war on drugs is going to end with the war on cartels and nipping it in the bud at the snake's head, and that's what you're going to see. So pay attention. It's happening. It's coming. Uh, but I know our hunger for drugs is never going to stop as long as it's there. Uh, to the circle of love, peace, and happiness. Love you, mean it. See you soon.